Hey everybody, I'm currently underneath my GT4 and changing the oil, and I wanted to add a little information here for you people that may suspect that you have some oil leaks and what it could be. So if you check around my gearbox and stuff like that, you see a lot of spread going on here, and it can be basically anything because it's an old car, it's a veteran now, and there's some gunk here and there, and it could be mostly anything, but probably it could be two things. The first thing, it could be the gasket underneath the oil pan. Let's see here. You have some bolts around here, and when they install the gasket, they don't turn the torque all the way down because it's supposed to be pretty flexible, so you don't destroy the gasket. So have in mind, when it's gone a couple of years with that kind of a gasket, it can dry out depending on your oil and the precision of your driving. And when it comes to like racing and everyday usage of the car. So what I would recommend, and this is what I've done so far with my car at least, is that you can retorque those bolts. As you can see here, there's a bunch of them here. I can't really record each and every one of them because it's around the whole canister, as you can see here. It's really hard to. There you go. There you have a couple of bolts, and oh, I don't know. I don't see how many, but there's a bunch. So what you can do is you can take a tool and then you can torque them a little more and make them more snug. And you can probably feel when, as you are torquing with your wrench, that it's probably pretty loose or not a lot of a resistance. So you can just go hand power, so to speak, so you can feel like when it starts to not move that much when you're torquing, this is where you're supposed to stop so you don't go too far, which is the common story with me because I always snap bolts and stuff like that because I don't, my hand strength is usually over the top, and I think I'm being kind. But do everybody a favor: if you have a leaking car, just try these bolts first and see if it makes any results. And the other issue could also be up on the top of your engine. Okay, so the second part that could be the problem for a small leakage during the whole time when you're driving the car could also be the valve cover. So this part here is the valve cover that goes on top of the engine, which you also change the gasket that goes around here. As you can see, this little gap. But from what I can tell, there is no leakage, at least not in the front of the valve cover. And as you can see here, those bolts over here are also supposed to be good enough torque to not breaking the gasket around the valve cover. And there's a bunch of these. As you can see, you can probably see further down here as well, hiding next to the ignition leads. And what you do is just retorque them as well and see if they're loose or not. And from what I can tell, is they look good. So it's probably not the leakage that's coming out of this part of the car. It's probably from maybe behind. It's really hard to record this and show you specifics, but I can't really see any big leakages as well. It's just old stuff here, dried out, as you can see here on the backside. So it doesn't really tell me anything right now, but from what I can do, I'm starting to at least doing something from underneath the car. And always add stop leak on older cars, because they, as I've said several times before in other videos, they actually make the gasket work better, especially if they're old and trying to dry up. They made it more lubricated and more susceptible to being squishy again, and covering all those covers that they're supposed to do as a gasket. So a really good add-on when you're making your oil change. And I'm gonna go crazy this time with my car at least, because I'm gonna go with my old can, which I have like almost half a liter, 1.5 liter still, and mix it up this time with Castrol. And this is the only reason why I'm doing this, because I have 3 of these from my previous project car, which I sold, and they have the exact same specs as you can see here. They're all of them are C3s, SAE 5W40s, both of them. And it's just, you know, taste in what kind of oil you're supposed to have in your cars. And for my point of view, better to use the cans than them just lying around. And if you mix them up, it's probably going to make no changes, because there's a lot of reservoirs in the engine right now, keeping that other oil still in there. So just try to make normal maintenance of your car, changing your oil every year, especially on a wet car like this, because it's just standing around all winter. And it's a good complement to doing your daily routines when checking the oil and mixing it up. So always try to have the right, correct labels, and don't mix it up too much, or else you're going to destroy your car. So onward with the oil change.